Hey, welcome back to the channel and to another video. Now in today's video, what I want to do is just take a little bit of time to talk about the 9 kind of main reasons that our customers tend to use Highlife Campers over and above all the other camper converters out there. And it's something I've wanted to talk about for a while because there is a huge amount of choice when it comes to buying a camper van, and there are a lot of conversion companies out there. And if you've been doing your research for a while, you've probably already realised that there is a lot of choice out there when it comes to choosing a conversion company or a trader to actually buy a camper from. And there's a huge amount of variety when it comes to the actual types of base vehicle that camper companies convert, as well as the actual conversions themselves. And it can be a little bit confusing and hard to work out why you should choose one camper converter over another, and also why two very similar campers seem to be very different in price. So you might have seen a camper that's maybe a brand new van with a new luxury conversion, and it might be, say, £7,000 or £8,000 less than one of our campers, for example. So in this video, I'm going to go through some of the reasons why our campers are a little bit more expensive than most campers out there, and kind of break down some of the features that we add to our campers, which do put a premium on the price of our completed campers. But aside from the actual campers themselves, I'm going to actually talk about some of the other reasons people choose us over and above other companies out there. So we've been in business now nearly 4 years, and during that time period, we've now converted about 150 vans. So we've sold 150 completed campers to customers all over the UK. And when you bought that many base vehicles and converted that many vans into campers and had many customers go through the process, you really do get to learn a lot about what people want from a camper and what they don't. And we put a lot of time and effort into understanding our customers and really trying to understand what features are important to our customers so that we can build our conversion packages and ultimately build vans that tick the right boxes for our customers. And one of the things that you'll notice with us if you do follow us on YouTube is that we are constantly trying to innovate and improve what we do. We're not the kind of company that kind of gets complacent and kind of just expects people to just buy what we produce. We're always listening to our customers and trying to make little improvements and tweaks to the conversions so our customers are ultimately 100% happy when they drive away. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is talk through the 9 different reasons that we feel that our customers come to us over and above other converters. And this is all based on actual feedback that we've had from our customers over the last 4 years. Okay, so the first reason that people tend to use us, and I think this is probably one of the most important aspects of what we do, and as I say, one of the reasons why people choose us is down to our source and convert service. Now, there are quite a few camper companies out there that will help you source a vehicle and then choose all the spec on it, but the amount of companies doing that are quite limited, and also the actual service they provide when it comes to the source and convert process is also quite limited. So they may have some available base vehicles in stock that you can choose, and you may get some options in terms of the colours and things like that and extras that you choose for the camper. But from what we've seen out there in the market over the last few years, we feel that process is quite limited for most people. And we've actually built our business from the start based around the source and convert model, because we've always felt like if you're going to be spending sort of £60,000 plus up to £100,000 in some cases on a VW camper, you cannot drive away feeling like you've made sacrifices and just not completely happy with the camper that you've got. So we've always put a lot of emphasis on this, which is why we launched our source and convert service about 2.5 years ago. So I'm not going to go into step-by-step detail about our source and convert service because you can find information on our website about that. So the second reason that people tend to choose us over and above other conversion companies is because we do fit rib beds as standard in our Explorer package. So if you've been doing some research, you probably know that there is a choice between a rock and roll bed or a rib bed in terms of the main seating, which then turns into a bed for 2 people. We do fit the rib bed as standard. And the rib bed does tend to be the option that most of our customers are looking for, which is why we standardise that in the Explorer package. And there are a number of plus points to having a rib bed over a rock and roll bed. The first one is comfort. So in terms of passenger comfort, if you are travelling on long journeys, the rib bed is a much more comfortable seat to sit on. And it's a lot more versatile in terms of being able to prop yourself up in bed. But you also get more storage space at the back of a rib bed. So you get about 1.5 foot of space at the back of the van for storage, which is what most of our customers are looking for. So overall, a rib bed is our customer's preferred option. The rib beds are more expensive to buy and fit, and they are more expensive to upholster. So if you see vans out there that have got a rock and roll bed, the actual price of the camper probably is slightly less because they've not had to pay for a rib bed. But as I say, we chose to put the rib bed as standard in the Explorer package because that is what most of our customers are looking for. So if you are going out there to look at a number of different campers to get an idea of what you're looking for, that's one of the things to look for, and that's whether it's got a rock and roll bed or a rib bed. Okay, so moving on to number 3, and this is a reason that our customers more recently are choosing us over and above other companies, and that is the fact that we now do induction. We now offer a gas-free solution, and this is something that a lot of people now are really interested in because they don't want to be carrying around a gas canister in the van, which takes up space in the cupboard. You've got to get it certified and gas checked every year, and of course you've got to keep topping up the gas canister, which can be a bit of a pain if you are wild camping and realise you're running out of gas. So there are a number of pros to having induction rather than gas on the van, and one of the main reasons that adding induction to one of our campers is a huge benefit is that we also upgrade the electrics quite considerably over and above the gas vans. And the reason for that is that the induction hobs do take quite a lot of power. They take 1,000 watts of power each, so you get a double induction, 1,000 watts of power each, which means we've got to upgrade the electrics to cope with that amount of power. So we go from a 100 amp lithium battery on the gas vans to a 300 amp lithium battery, which is a much bigger battery. It's got a lot more capability. And we also upgrade the inverter from a 1,000 watt inverter to a 2,000 watt inverter, which means that when you're not using the induction hobs, you've got 2,000 watts of power through the inverter to plug things into the 240 volt sockets off grid without being hooked up. And it means you can plug things in like kettles and air fryers and hair dryers and things like that, and even e-bikes into that off grid, which makes the camper a lot more user friendly, a lot more versatile, because you're not reliant on campsites and hookups, and you can go off for 2 or 3 days at a time and be able to use those 240 volt sockets. So there is a huge benefit in going for the induction package, and most of our customers now do choose to have the induction package fitted and get rid of the gas in the van, which gives you all of those benefits that I've just talked through. Okay, so the fourth reason that people tend to like what we do over and above other camper companies is down to the actual furniture itself and the quality and the finish of the units in the van. And if you've been to look at a few campers, you'll know that the quality of the furniture and the actual design of the furniture, it really does vary quite a lot. And from observing other campers out there in the market, we feel that a lot of the furniture out there looks very basic and the finish isn't great. And in terms of colours and finishes and things like that, it's quite limited in general. And actually a lot of camper companies will actually buy the furniture in as a complete unit. So they actually outsource that, they buy the units in and they just literally slot those units into the van, which is not really an ideal way of doing things. Whereas we've actually designed our furniture in-house and we actually CNC everything in-house as well. So all our furniture is built in-house to spec. We print it off from the CNC machine. We have a banding machine to do all the edging, so it's all properly banded, like a house kitchen. It's all fitted by skilled joiners. So everything we do is all hand-built from scratch, and it's all done in-house. Of course, there are plenty of companies out there that are CNCing their own furniture and doing everything in-house. But the actual finish of the units and the furniture and the actual design of it is something that you do want to look out for when you are viewing campers, just to really compare and contrast from one company to another. Okay, so the fifth reason that people tend to like our conversions is down to the electrics, and I have just covered that briefly just before, but the electrical setup we've got on our campers now is quite superior to a lot of campers that you'll see out there in terms of the off-grid capability, but also down to the actual electrical components we use, including the battery, the solar and the inverter. And we mostly use Victron in our electrical setup, which is a very good quality, well-known brand for electrical components. And all of these things are very important when it comes to the kind of longevity of your camper, making sure that you don't have electrical problems and everything's all working together, because we also install a 7-inch digital display in our campers which controls all of the electrics, the lights, the inverter, the water. Everything's all done from a digital screen, and our batteries and inverters have to communicate with that screen. So it's quite a complex setup, and it's something that we put a lot of time and effort into to make sure we get it right. And we also offer ongoing support after you've bought a camper. If you have any niggles or questions about the electrical setup, we're here to help you after you've actually bought the camper. So the electrical setup is certainly something you want to be looking out for and looking closely at when you go to view campers. Okay, so on to number 6. So this is something that we've heard from our customers. We've had a lot of feedback around this. And although this might seem like a kind of insignificant aspect of a camper, the exterior look and styling of the camper is important to our customers. And we do put a lot of focus and effort into the actual exterior styling options that we give to our customers. And as part of the Explorer package, you get a number of different exterior modifications done to the van, which we feel just take it from looking like a van to actually looking like a nice leisure vehicle. So as standard in the Explorer package, you get the 20-inch Riviera alloys and brand new tyres. And we offer a number of different styles and colours of wheels that you can choose from. And we've actually partnered with Riviera, who are quite a local company to us, who manufacture amazing wheels, which are really good quality. And they're all manufactured and drilled specifically for transporter vans. So not only do the wheels look great on our campers, they're also very safe and tailored to the load-bearing weight of a camper. So aside from the wheels, we also fit the gloss black sidebars on the side of the van. We put a gloss black front splitter below the bumper, and we also put a colour-coded rear spoiler on the back of the van as well. And as you can see from the pictures on the screen now, this really does make a big difference to the aesthetic of the camper. And like I say, it turns it from looking like a van into looking like a nice leisure vehicle. And if you do want some extra exterior upgrades to the van, we can do that as well. We can add in gloss black grills in the front bumper. We can put the black VW badges on the front and the back. And we could also colour code parts of the trim as well, just to make it really personalised to you. Okay, so the seventh reason that people tend to like our campers over and above other campers that they've seen out there is down to the interior colour choices that you've got when you spec out a van from scratch with us. So we have a very wide range of colour options when it comes to the actual furniture units, the upholstery, the flooring, the roof canvas, and other parts of the interior of the camper. You can choose from a very wide range of colours and finishes and textures. For example, some of our customers like a solid oak worktop and table. Some of our customers like the more contemporary acrylic look. So we've got lots of different options in terms of colours so that you can really personalise the interior so that you are very happy to spend time in the back of a camper. Because let's face it, a camper is a very expensive purchase. It's probably the second most expensive thing that you're going to buy outside of your house. So in my eyes, it's equally as important to be happy with the interior colours and finish inside your camper as it is with the kitchen in your house. So this is why we spend a lot of time and we put a lot of effort into working with our customers through that process so they are 100% happy. And we have recently launched our online configurator, so you can actually go online on our website and actually play around with different colour combinations and work out which combination of colours works best for you. So if you want to have a play around with our configurator, just go to highlifecampers.co.uk, go to the menu, hover over the conversion tab in the menu, and you'll get a drop down there to the configurator and you can have a play around with that. Okay, so we're nearly there now. Moving on to number 8. So from feedback we've had from customers in the past, people like the fact that we can be quite flexible in terms of the actual configuration of the furniture. So we do have one signature design and layout in our campers, and one of the main reasons we stick to that is because that we feel that we have maximised the storage space inside the back of the camper, as well as the overall look and aesthetic. So we feel that our design gives you a maximum amount of storage space in the cupboards and the drawers and also the lockers. So we don't tend to deviate away from that design too much, but we are very willing to be flexible and tweak things slightly if you wanted a slightly different configuration. For example, we had a customer recently that didn't want the wardrobe section of the furniture. They wanted to replace that wardrobe section with a low cupboard that they could actually sit on with a cushion. So we took out the piece of wardrobe and we actually fitted a very low storage unit, and then we upholstered a cushion to go on top of that, and then we added a window above that. So it's got 4 windows inside the van. So that's one example of a tweak that we can make to the furniture. And we also had a customer that wanted short wheelbase furniture in a long wheelbase van to give them that extra space just behind the driver's seat. So rather than having the furniture go for the full length of the van, they had about 2 feet of space behind the driver's seat where they could actually slot bikes into there and use that as extra storage. So we are flexible and we do try and accommodate our customers when we can. And we also do offer the glide motion rail system for the rib bed. So if you want to have your rib bed sliding up and down the van to give you maximum storage space behind that, and also if you've got children on board and you want them to be nearer to you behind your seats at the front, then we can fit a sliding rail system to our conversions as well. Okay, so moving on to my last point, number 9, and I feel this is equally as important to the actual camper itself, and that is the aftercare that we offer our customers. As I said before, when you are investing this kind of money into a vehicle or into any product, it's really important that you feel supported after you've actually bought the camper. And this is something that we put a lot of our focus onto. So once our customer picks up their camper, we don't stop there. We offer a huge amount of help and support should you have any problems or questions, and we do offer a 12-month warranty on the conversion itself. So any little niggles or problems at all with anything to do with the actual conversion, we are there to help and rectify problems. Even if you are 200 miles away from us, we will do all we can to support you and help you either over the phone or by bringing the vehicle back to us. Obviously, if you are based a long way away, we will do all we can to rectify problems remotely, and it's really rare that we ever have any problems. But of course, when you've got a number of mechanical things and moving parts in the back of a camper, of course, sometimes there are slight niggles, or you might just have questions about how to use the electrics, or you might be on your first camping trip and some questions come up when you're actually on site and you need to talk to us about something. So we are here to help you on the end of the phone and by email should you have any questions or problems after you've bought your camper. And all you need to do is check out all of our 5-star reviews on Google to see the feedback that we've had from our previous customers. Okay, so that's the 9 main reasons that our customers tend to choose us over and above other camper conversion companies. But before I wrap the video up, I just want to talk through some of the options you've got if you are interested in working with us to ultimately get the camper of your dreams. So there are a few ways that we can help you. The first one is that you can use our source and convert service, which I talked briefly about at the beginning of the video, whereby we will go and help you source the right base vehicle from a VW dealership, and then we'll buy the van and have it delivered to us, and then work really closely with you to choose all the colours and the extras and everything. And the second option is that you choose one one of our base vehicles that we've already got in stock or we've got on order. And you can always keep up-to-date track of the vehicles that we've got in stock and we've got ordered on the sales page of our website. So just go to highlifecampers.co.uk, head to the sales page, and all the vehicles that we've got in stock are on that page. All you need to do is just pay the reserve online to reserve that vehicle, or you can just give us a call to talk through our schedule and our conversion packages. And the third option is that you actually go and source your own base vehicle from a VW dealership or from another trade or even a private seller. You go and actually buy the van yourself and then you bring it to us for the conversion. And then as usual, we would just work with you to choose all the colours and the extras that you wanted on your camper. And then of course the fourth option is that you choose one of our already completed campers that we've got in stock. We are trying to have at least 2 or 3 campers ready to drive away in our showroom. So if you're not wanting to wait to have a conversion done and you want to be able to drive a camper away straight away, then make sure you check out the sales page of our website for all our available campers. Okay, so that's it for this video. I really hope you've got value from it. If you've got any questions or you'd like to have a chat to me about some options and get your questions answered, all you need to do is head to our website, highlifecampers.co.uk, go to the contact page and you can schedule a time in my calendar for a call, and I will give you a call for a chat, or we can have half an hour on the phone and talk through some options. And also make sure you download our VW Camper Buyer's Guide if you haven't already, as we talk through the whole kind of research and buying process of a VW camper. And I will put a link in the description below this video on YouTube to that guide, and you can find that on the homepage of our website. And also if you are interested in finding out more about our conversion packages and what goes into them and also the prices, make sure you download our conversion spec brochure, and I will put a link to that in the description below this video on YouTube, and you can also find that on the homepage of our website. Okay, so if you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure you do that so you don't miss any of my future information videos like this one, and all the walkarounds that I do of completed campers and also the available campers that we've got. And if you've got value from this video and you've enjoyed the content, please also consider hitting that like button, and I will see you in the next video. Speak soon.